Don't forget, as always, that we love you. And Dane,
Thank you for listening.
Hey Dane, how's your day going, man?
Good, good. Another great day here in Kansas. I'm liking the new background that I'm
You like
seeing
that?
behind you.
Pretty cool,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I was trying to get that myself, but not savvy enough yet with the technology to do it. So I got to get my daughter on that.
Yeah, I'll say send a teen or a preteen, they'll help you out, man. They
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
look at the technology. Man, it's been a great week. It's been softball heaven lately, dude, with, College World Series
yeah,
just ending, us both having, tournaments. Reagan just took third. Sid's taking,
yeah,
you guys are driving out Thursday for a showcase, right?
yep, yep.
Thursday.
Kansas City. Yep,
It's awesome. So nonstop softball, and of course AU inaugural season, man. Going pro, it's there finally. We've been talking about this for so long, and seeing the AU team launch, get going with their four, the Bandits, the Spark, the Talons and Volts. There's
yep,
something that I can't get away from the early days. All of you OGs
yep,
out there, when we were first kind of starting off and getting this,
yep.
one of our favorite all-time coaches, and we stand behind this, bringing her back on and an old friend, Joe Koons. Coach Koons, obviously head coaching now, working with Abillene Christian, and got the call to play, be a
Yeah.
coach, part of the talent. Isn't that crazy, Dean? Doing the pro coach, crazy story, right?
Oh yeah, well deserved.
Yeah.
Absolutely. With all that knowledge, you can't leave that stone unturned.
Well, it's one of the most humble people I've ever met too. She was so kind to us. I think back about the early
Yeah,
days. I mean, we've been doing this for 3 years now. And then, she was still one of my favorite people to interview, picking her brain. She knows more about the game than I'll ever even pick up on. She's forgotten
yeah,
drills that I'll never even be able to do. The knowledge at such a young age. And of all the times we've interviewed her, I finally want to break open tonight and kind of talk about it a little bit too. Such a strong, devout woman in her faith. Really shares
yeah,
that, really vocal about that. And that's a hero to me. Sharing
yeah.
her athletic knowledge and, more importantly, her love for God. So it's just old friends at this point, man. And I'm excited to bring her back on the show. What long overdue. Coach Coons, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, doing well, doing well. You guys are so kind to me. So kind.
It's all true.
Thanks for
It's
having
all
me
true,
back.
coach. Mentor.
Yep.
Like I said, the early days, and just thank you for being so kind to us and to see your career
Yeah,
flourish. You're doing the
absolutely.
head coaching thing in Abilene, of course, getting the call up to work with Talons. Never a dull moment in Coach Coon's life, I promise you. So I will respect your time because I know you probably don't get a lot of free time these days. But when you're looking at the
Yeah,
transition, when we worked with you last, you're assisting, moving your way up, now head coach Abilene and then pro. So these
yeah.
these these parallels, I'm curious, you as a head coach, also pro, maybe take us through some differences because we're here now. What's a different you see when you're coaching college kids versus pro? What's a couple differences you're seeing as a coach, if you will?
Mm.
Yeah, sure. I think the biggest thing is just their ability to adjust quickly. I think that's the biggest difference. And we talk about it in any level. The game doesn't change. It just
Yeah.
gets faster. You just get better at it. Your IQ is higher. You know how to make adjustments where they're needed faster. So that's obviously I think the biggest difference in college to pro is just their process. They're very process oriented, and there's not some magic drills that they do
Yeah.
here that are different than what we do in college or you do in travel ball. It's just they are process based and not outcome based. And
Mhm.
occasionally I have to remind them, like, hey, this is about the process, not about the outcome. But
Yeah,
it's like been my biggest message. And what I want to take back to my team is, you watch the pros hit off the machine. And I asked one of them the other day, I'm like, hey, like, what are you working on? She's like, I'm just trying to feel my hips. I'm trying to feel my hips. And like, she wasn't hitting the ball square. It was just, she was flaring them off kind of. And it was just like such a reminder to me of, right, like they are so process oriented. This is not about, am I hitting line drives to the back of the cage every time? It's like, no, I'm doing this to feel
yeah.
something, to get better at it. So I think that's probably the biggest difference, just their level of knowledge and knowing themselves and then knowing what they need to do to get better.
The process, and we talked about, and it's cool because you've
Yeah,
expanded on that in many times in previous episodes. And
yeah,
there's some nuggets out there, y'all. Go watch Coach's Corner. We got some nuggets from you, some drills and stuff. And I like what you said about whether it's college, pro, 12U. I love that the game don't change. It's so cool
yeah,
that it stays the same. Before Dane takes two, Coach, when you look at college, pro, both kind of doing the process getting more refined,
yeah.
more tailored in. Did you find, if you can even say this, did you find one harder than the other? I mean, which one, if you had to say, is harder
Mm.
right now, college or
It's a good
pro?
question. Yeah, it's a good question. I think college is harder just because you're bringing together a lot of different kids from a lot of different places in their lives, where I feel like as pro, it's that you guys all have in common this is something you're choosing to do with your life.
Gotcha.
For an extended amount of time, and that it's something that you're bought into. I think college is everyone's a little bit different, and you're in a very developmental state of and time of your life, right? There's so much growth from a freshman in college to a senior in college, and now I'm working with postgraduate students, and then all the way up till athletes who are my age. So there's it's just a different level of maturity. I think so. In a lot of ways, I think college is just a little bit different because there's a lot more distractions. Maybe that's the best word to say it. Whereas I think pro is there's a little bit more focus. They have a little bit more maturity.
So you're saying basically maybe a freshman in college more about the Snapchat issue, and when we're looking at mortgage, hey, my mortgage, I'm whatever. I think you're saying so. Kind of a different dynamic of things, right, Dan?
Yeah, exactly.
Before I go to the next question, I had a question about that. Now, when you're working with college athletes from that freshman to seniors and now postgraduates, like you said, do you find any of them that are more or less receptive to coaching, or do you kind of feel that at the pro level they're receptive to things just the same as they were throughout their whole careers?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I think it's different. Every athlete's different. Every personality is different. I think some are obviously more welcoming to it than others. It doesn't mean that they're not. It's just it's a different process, again, for them, and developing that relationship and trust. I would say that that's the difference in coaching pro this year, is that, I mean, most of these athletes don't know who I am. So, it's a lot about you're trying to build this relationship really fast because we go into season, we had 10 days of training, and now we're, going into season.
So cool.
Hopefully as the league expands, that's the goal kind of this league in the next 5 years, is that there's more than just 4 teams, there's 12, 14 teams. So, and then hopefully they'll be able to train through longer periods of time, and that the season would be longer than 2 months as well. So, which would give coaches more opportunity to dive deep into it, like relationships and, build these athletes, like we do in college. It's a different type of process. And I think that's why, in college, we have all fall with them, and then we go into spring, and it's not just like 10 days and like, hey, we're going to play. So like, hopefully, you're good. So it's exciting.
It's like more express.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. 10-day camp, and then you hit the ground running, huh? So they have to come in it's almost like OTAs. They got to stay ready before they even get to you, and then you're fine tuning it at that point, it sounds like, a little bit.
For sure. And then you're trying to get them to, buy into the team together. So like I said, as the league expands, as this continues to build out, it's just going to get better and better. And it's so exciting for softball. I mean, that's been the best part about being here is opening day. It was honestly it was so incredible just to be in that moment and feel that presence, because it was past, present, and future, that have been waiting for this day of, the Major League Baseball to back us. And man, I remember being a little kid and dreaming of playing in the major leagues, so to speak. And to get to watch, our
it's here.
And
it's here.
Your kids have the opportunity to do that. My college kids. So it's exciting.
It's history making, Dan. I mean, I can't stop. Like I've watched you for years. We've been fans. We told you this early on in the days, and you are a part of history right now. Like literally in the history books, inaugural season, pro softball. Guess who's right there in the mix? Like been grinding this out and doing it, Coach Joe Koons. So I'm just saying, Don Mattingly, Joe Koons. That's how it's supposed to be, right? Then go ahead. You know me, Dan. I gotta.
Well, I was just saying, speaking of the process, all of our girls, from the time they're 8U, 10U, all through the ranks, you go to practice and you do these drill after drill after drill. And it seems like by the time they've reached that 14U high school age, they're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I've done so many of them. Now that you're in the pro level, are there any drills that you've done from that younger group to now that are something that you tell them this is very necessary? You have to do this, and it gets you in the right mindset? Or is maybe a couple drills that you still do nowadays to kind of tell some of our younger girls, see, even the pros do it?
That's good.
Yeah, I like I kind of said, I don't think the game changes, right? I still do the drills that I do with them, that I would do with a 12U team, that I do with my team, that I would do, anywhere really, at any level. So, And I do think it's really interesting to see, you know, that the pros, they do the same things. They are working front toss, they're working on different bat angles off the machine, they're working on something live. So it's interesting. Like the drills continue to translate, and I
That's cool.
think that's the coolest part is, yeah, just the reminder that it doesn't matter. The level doesn't matter. It's just, you know, are we executing the drill at a high level or
Yeah.
the highest level that we can execute at the time? So
Right.
it's a great reminder for my athletes too. I'm going to tell them, I've already wrote some things down. I'm like, hey, just so you know, Hannah
That's
Flippin,
cool.
she does that too. And
Yeah.
Montana Fouts, you know, she's over there doing that just like you are. So
Same.
it's good stuff.
So what you're saying is if you ask Tori Vidal to hit off the tee, she doesn't do it, you're gonna make her do some jumping jacks, right? Hey Tori, I want to see you over there. Give me 20 jumping jacks. I want you hitting off the tee. What is that? No,
Yeah.
so I get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Well, it's good to know that the game doesn't change. Personalities may change, life changes, but the game
Yeah.
does not. That's a constant piece of we talk about, people growing up, the America's pastime, baseball. Now
Yeah.
the girls with softball. Now there's that anchor. Hey, this is what's going to be there for us when we get older. We're going to look
Yeah.
back on these ladies that brought the sport in, ushered it in. Now you have, along with the memories of baseball, going as a kid to baseball games, now taking our kids to pro softball. We get to have those memories, taking our kids, that feeling you're talking about, being there in the moment. It's crazy, it's
Yeah.
huge. So, the message, I guess, what I'm saying as I kind of stumble into question three, you being one of the OGs, really, people like you, Lonnie Alameda, and the list goes on and on, of people that have built this groundswell. What's the message, whether it's college this year, 12U, pro level, you are part of promoting the sport heavily. What is your number one message this year you want to get out to the world about this on any level? It's kind of a heavy question, but what do you want to be remembered for this year above all else in
Mm.
softball?
That's a good question, Josh, man. You know, I keep going back to like love the game, not because of what it'll give you, but what you give it. And the game will give you lots of things in return. But love the game because it's worth loving because of the joy that it brings you and the highs and the lows and everything in between. It's, it's learning this unconditional love for
Yeah.
The journey, really. And I think
Love the
there's just
game.
so many distractions, regardless of what level you're at. There's so many things to focus on, and obviously it changes depending on where you're at and what age you're at. But at the end of the day, man, this game is such a gift, and it's going to give you way more than you give it. You just have to give it your
Yeah.
best for every day.
So the message don't change from travel ball 8U all the way up to pros. And
Yeah.
love the game. The game won't let you down. It won't let you down. I
That's
love
right.
that.
That's right.
And one thing, Dane, before you take four, I make it a point to really showcase and say thank you for this. You're strong in your faith. Speaking of also what doesn't let you down, I love how much you stand for your faith. I watch your posts and kind of how you really give that credit to God. It just makes me so proud to see the next generation of softball athletes,
Yeah.
people like yourself that have a love for God, love for the sport, love for people. It's just the kind of people we want our girls looking at. We want them chasing people like, hey, be like Joe Koons. Celebrities are great, actors are great, they're
Yeah.
cool, all of that. No disrespect to that, but someone who is like, this is my core. I want to love God and love the
Yeah.
game, treat people right, all people treat them right. Coach, I commend you for that. I love you for
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Right, Dane? Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that, just like the game, that faith is always going to be your base. It's never going to let you down, and you can always come back to it no matter how far you may get away from, the daily grind of life might take you away from things. You can always come back to that and know that it's solid. And that's a great way to look at life and following a faith and being steadfast in it, like Josh said. So yeah, very commendable.
Yes.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
Now, a lot of our girls, you guys have given them something very high to shoot for in this, with this Athletes Unlimited, the pro level. And before that, obviously, our girls want to get to high school and college. But those that are in the college ranks or high school ranks, is there maybe something that you could tell them as far as the process goes of, okay, if you aspire to go beyond college and play, maybe could be your mindset, or what would you tell those that want to be
Draft,
pros?
all that stuff.
Yeah,
Draft even, all
that desire to go to the draft or to go to being pros. What would you tell them about starting that process?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the biggest message I would say is just be present. Be where your feet are at the moment that you're in, and then the rest will take care of itself. I
Hmm.
think, you can dream about all the things, but you're never going to get to one day if you don't start with day one. And so
True, true.
I talk a lot that a lot with our team. It's like, every day is day one. It's an opportunity to get better than you were yesterday. And you just keep stacking days. And eventually you're going to look up and you're at your one day. So I think you got to take care of business where you're at and continue to build and grow. And there is no easy path to success, as we all know, right? It
Yeah,
may look
yeah.
different for every individual, but at the end of the day, the work still has to be put in to get to where you want to be and to where you want to go. So, if you want to be drafted someday, I mean, you got to be, like I said, you have to be present where you're at and just make the most of every single moment that you're there.
It's man, and I see, speaking of being present, we haven't missed a game yet. We've been watching them all, and I was watching, last night, and just the joy, like you see in these women, they're just so proud to be here, and they're in it. Like, maybe they didn't realize it was going to be that way when they're playing in college or 12U, 16U, showcasing. They weren't sure if they were going to get to this point. We're trying, we're pushing for this. This is something we've been
Yeah.
going for, and I see them all just having a blast, just loving on each other, having a good time, high fiving, celebrating each other's home runs for the opposite team. It's a
Yeah.
crazy just party right now. I can't say enough how
Yeah.
cool it is living in the moment. So we're
Yeah.
just I think I'm picking up what you're putting down, but whether it's college, youngest levels, littles,
Yeah.
all the way up, just don't forget to have a good time with it because that's what the
Yeah.
game's about. So you say it so much better than we do, coach, but I think I'm picking up on what you're saying.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of that, the expansion, you talked about this a lot. And I was looking through some sports history today. So a couple
Yeah.
things for both of you guys, Dane and Coach Koons both. If you think about NBA, we'll start with that. NBA, the way we have it now, has been around for less than 6 years. Before that, there was a different concept. NFL, this is less than 70 years, the way we've got it now. The only really
Yeah.
sport that's really super old, if you will, is baseball. So all these things, these people part of these
Yeah.
movements, it started things like you guys are doing now. Hey, going to different teams, showcasing autographs, meet and greets, spreading it, social media,
Yeah.
bringing people in. You guys are doing this grassroots thing right now to spread the sport, working with MLB. So it's year one, 2025. Cool setup. The way it's going down is so well received and so loved. Games are selling out everywhere you go. They sold out here in Wichita too already ahead of time. So I guess 2025, you got a 5 year span. If you're just saying 5 years, what do you see? You think 8 teams, 10 teams? Honestly, the sky's the limit now because you're part of it. Where do you see softball in general, whether it's college, pro? Where do you see the sport at in 5 years, coach?
I think ultimately, we want to play on the biggest stage possible. And, the Olympics will be, I mean, that's
Yeah.
not quite
Yeah.
5 years, a little less than 5 years, but I think that's a big push as well. So, like I said, I think the dream is to expand this to 16 plus teams and that they would have home sites across the country just like Major League Baseball does. And like you said, this is a grassroots. We're touring kind of, I think it's a lot of the test of where are these teams going to be planted, where is their home going to be, so to
Yeah.
speak. So man, it's just exciting. But I know the Olympics will be a huge piece of this as well. And just to have it back in the Olympics. I remember, obviously in 2020 that was not how the Olympics we wanted to went.
Right.
But even before that, I remember being in college and like crying because softball wasn't in the Olympics. And
Yeah.
just to have like our sport back and to be on the platform that we're on. And I mean, the College World
Yeah.
Series just has unbelievable numbers of viewership, and our sport is so fun to watch and it's so engaging and just wow. I just feel like we're at the top of the top right now. And then we're not
Yeah.
even there. I mean, it's just going to keep going and keep expanding. But how exciting to be living in a time like this, as an athlete, as a coach, as a fan, as a parent. I mean, really
Yeah.
sky's the limit at this point. And the next 5 years, I just continue to see it taking off. And I mean,
Olympics. Yeah.
it's awesome.
Olympics 16.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Expansion team 16, and it's what's one of the coolest things, and that's why I think they're such a die hard. I think maybe the only crazier fan than
Yeah.
softball fans maybe is NASCAR. Maybe not, but softball fans are good crazy. Like every game you
Yeah.
go to, I don't care if it's a littles, if it's a 8U, if it's T-ball,
Yeah.
if it's a softball game, people are going nuts. We were just at a tournament. I lost my voice this weekend calling a local game. And you got parents hooting and hollering, like jumping up, picking parents up on top of lawn chairs and stuff. People go crazy for softball. So I think you're right. It is
Yeah.
one of the most fun sports to be a part of. So it's there 5 years from now. I can't wait to see what it looks like. And I know you're
Yeah,
gonna be right there in
absolutely.
it. Hopefully you'll have your own team by that point, kind of a couple
Yeah,
softball World Series under
absolutely.
your boy, maybe the inaugural pro one, get the belt. It's gonna be cool. So Coach, I think you're spot on. Just it's just we're so thankful to have got to watch you make this transition and be a
Yeah,
part of it. Female athletics, we said from day one, your passion for
yeah,
that, how you feel about female athletes, the way we feel, that a vision has been from the start right there, right in line with us. So thank you.
yeah,
Dan, I think you got one
absolutely.
more, right? You got one more question?
Yeah, I was just going to touch on from that, with what you're doing at Abilene Christian too, and you're obviously doing your thing, being successful. Now, when that call came or that contact came that, hey, we want you to help us out with the Talons, from that point to now, what has been maybe one of your favorite things for the professional process that you've experienced so far?
Oh man. I don't think we've experienced my favorite one yet. I mean, hopefully it's a championship here in about a month
Yeah.
and a half.
All right, there we go.
But yeah, I think just seeing it all unfold, they've done such a great job. All the
Yeah,
people behind the scenes of this that have worked really hard to make it what you are seeing on
yeah,
TV, all the, crowds being sold out. I mean, all of it just to be a small piece of the success of this taking off. I mean, I can't really put it into words. I
Yeah,
mean, like I
it's a
said,
feeling.
opening day was just incredible. I mean, you're watching Jenny Finch and Natasha Watley and Jessica
yeah,
Mendoza, and you have the MLB commissioner there and our commissioner there and Sue
right.
Inquist, and I mean, so many others. I could go on, and it's like, man, all these people in one place to watch this, come into fruition. I mean, yeah, it's really special, and it's just the better days are still ahead. So
Yeah,
I don't think I can say I have a favorite part yet because
Still,
it's
still
still
getting there.
coming. It's
That's
still
cool.
coming.
yeah,
Every day's
Yeah.
didn't you say every day's day one? So I like that. Every day is a new day of
That's
a
right.
bag of goodies
That's
of
right.
things.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I looked this up too.
Exactly.
Speaking of female athleticism and female sports and all that, if you look at 2024 and it's basketball, but it's relevant. One of the most Googled words of the entire year was Caitlin Clark, as an example, female athlete, right? So the movement
Sure.
is just getting started.
yeah,
So, there's more people, and Dane and I, we're OU. Forgive us, but we're diehard OU fans.
Yeah.
What I found out too, interestingly enough, every Oklahoma softball game, the attendance was higher for Oklahoma softball or Auburn, pick a team, than for our men's basketball team this year. So it's like it's growing. It is growing
yeah,
exponentially. People come out, they camp out, they get there early. So softball everywhere you go, we're blessed in Wichita. We have sellout crowds all the time at WSU. It's
yeah,
just getting started. So, Coach, we're lucky that we got a chance to know you and really pick your brain and be a
yeah,
part of watching you as it should be, the well-deserved success. I can't wait to see what the future holds for you.
yeah,
It's going to be great. It's bright.
absolutely.
So,
Exciting for sure.
Yeah,
well, Coach, I know you're coming to town soon, so we'll get to see you play live. We'll see you here live soon when you come through our
yeah,
town. Coach Brad Benner, can't wait to see you come through Wilkins and Wichita. So we'll link up, maybe get you some coffee or something,
yeah,
hang out, take
absolutely.
a few photos, cheer you on. We'll be the crazy guys shouting really loud over in the corner. So you're like,
Yeah,
I don't know
there we
those
go.
guys, I don't know them. So that'll be us at the game. Okay. So,
I love it. I love it. We'll
Coach, thank
take it.
you. Yes, as always,
Yeah,
thank you for your
thank you.
time, for making time to do this. It's an
Yeah,
honor. We'll get you back to your night to get some sleep. Good luck on the games coming up this week, and then we'll
Thank
see you
you.
very soon. And go Talons. Okay. So
yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
See ya.
thanks,
Good luck,
Coach. Have a good
Coach.
night.
Thanks. Go Talons.
Yes, that's right. I'm telling you, Dane, she doesn't ever let you down. One of our favorite people to ever interview. Am I right, Dan? Even
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could tell by the energy that they made the right choice, and like you said during the conversation there, maybe one of these days it'll be head coach.
yeah, head coach, rightfully so. I mean, she's done it we talk about that quiet storm. Remember the first interview we
Yeah,
had with her? We were nervous as all get out. We're like, oh,
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
shaking and all
absolutely.
that. And she was so kind about it. It's like, hey, we learned things about what this world is from picking coach's brain. One of the
Yeah,
smartest softball minds I've ever met. And we've been
yeah,
blessed. Like I said, we've interviewed a lot of people, had a lot of different
yeah,
softball personalities, but her take on the game, one step at a time. Don't go where your feet are not. Don't get too big for
yeah,
the moment. She's coaching at the literally people are would love to do this. And it's like, yeah, she's grateful, but she's not making the moment bigger than what it is. It's just the same as 12U
Yeah.
softball. I'm coaching
Yeah.
Tori Vidalis. I'm over here, throwing, soft toss and Matana fouls. It's the same thing at this level as
Yeah.
I'm coaching my littles, right? How cool is
Yeah.
that she's got that kind of grounded personality, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something you could take to the
Mm.
youngers. I like the phrase "keep stacking days." I wrote that down to take to our girls and
keep stacking days, man.
said,
Yeah.
tell them it came from one of the very best.
Yeah, it was literally one of the best. So a great role model. And again, I meant what I said. I mean, we love celebrities and actors and
Yeah.
actresses and all that. No disrespect to that. That's not what I meant. But just her take on everything is so grounded. So if you
Yeah.
need a role model, someone who knows the game, loves people, all people, and has a love for God, just don't
Yeah.
forget
And
about Coach Koon.
yeah, absolutely.
What were you
And
saying?
very deep in her faith, which
Yes,
is the most admirable thing about her.
love it. Well, I'm Dan. I'm juiced up. Guys, come out with us next week. We'll make sure we put all the links out when they're in
Yeah.
town very soon. Make sure you're there with
Yeah.
us. Come have a party with us. Kool-Aid, but have a party with us. We're gonna get down, have some fun, really cheer on the team as they come through. Can't wait to see her live. So on behalf of Dane and I, as always, don't forget that we love you. And Dane,
Thanks for listening.